Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for today's webinar. My name is Elizabeth, and I'm part of the marketing team here at CityBase. CityBase is a government technology company that transforms the way cities and utilities connect and do business with constituents. CityBase works with local governments, agencies, and utilities to integrate payment functionality, business processes, and communications onto a central cloud-based platform that consumers can access through the web, mobile, kiosk, or point of sale. Today, we'll cover 2019 government trends presented by Sasha Chan. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question box by clicking on the Ask a Question button on the left-hand corner of your screen. Now, without further ado, I'll turn it over to Sasha Chan, the Account-Based Marketing Manager here at CityBase.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Welcome, everybody. As Elizabeth mentioned, today we'll cover 2019 government trends. Here's just a look at the agenda. I'll introduce myself, then we'll go into 5 trends to look for in 2019, and then we'll close it out with what does this mean for you and how you can implement it today, also with a couple other closing housekeeping items. As Elizabeth mentioned, my name is Sasha Chan. I'm the Account-Based Marketing Manager, and I'm responsible for looking at the different leads and building up the pipeline here at CityBase. I work with the sales team, and I'm also very interested on ways that CityBase can make an impact for different government agencies across the country. So, as a government agency, you're responsible for reaching and serving everyone. Government is now innovating, collaborating, and problem solving at a pace that hasn't been seen before in the public sector. With the aid of exciting technology like AI, machine learning, and Internet of Things, just to name a few, your role is not just to serve, but also to be informed about emerging trends. In 2019, there are many technology trends that will affect your agency, mission, and day-to-day work. Here are 5 trends that we've identified that will have the biggest impact this year. The first one will be citizen satisfaction with government services. According to the 2017 Deloitte review, citizen satisfaction has fallen to an 8-year low. And also, we're seeing that 73% of officials believe that their organization's digital capabilities lag behind those in the private sector. What we're seeing especially is that a lot of public sector, we're seeing CIOs from private sector move over to the agency life to help bring the government agencies to today's needs. Why is this important? One thing that we've heard that resonates very well across the country is that in the government, there are 19 different departments doing 19 different things. And guess what? We interact with citizens in 19 different areas. So what this means is that we're seeing a lot of agencies work in silos and not together. This needs to change because there are many different channels, many different technologies that are not working together, and this is going to increase, especially as technology needs become very important. So to achieve citizen satisfaction, local governments need to put people at the center of their digital planning, not just because of the rising expectations of digital savvy citizens, but because those improvements also deliver significant efficiency and cost savings. So looking at your digital offerings based off of actions versus what you provide as an agency. At CityBase here, we have found some common user actions. A lot of citizens come to your agency to search for something, to request a service, to apply for an application, to register their business or an animal, to submit questions, to submit requests such as recycling needs, and then finally to pay. So to increase and improve the citizen satisfaction, looking at your website on how you provide services. Actions should be easy to find and complete on web and mobile. There should also be this concept of a no wrong door to find information. So whether it's based off your actual agency or a service you provide, your citizens should be able to find exactly what they need when they want it and how they want to find it. And across every single page and across every single agency, tasks need to feel familiar no matter what. And then also on the back end, to help your employees provide that excellent satisfaction, it needs to be integrated with your database. So there's real-time data and accurate information. The second trend we're seeing is digital workplace. A digital workplace is, the new modern workplace, and that's where anyone can work from anywhere, whether it's a home, office, or local coffee shop. The expectation of this kind of workplace has been adopted by the private sector, but the public sector has struggled to do the same. Transforming your government to a digital workplace has many benefits that we'll tackle in a second. But in the long run, you can also it will also help you find and retain skilled, talented employees. So with the digital workplace, you can have anytime access, whether it's on your laptop, your phone, or even on your servers. And the benefits of this, you'll see at least an improvement of 61% access for employees to gain information. You'll see 57% increase in productivity, and we've also seen 31% increase in easier data sharing. There's also been, the cloud-based tools improve employee productivity with document management. This is an opportunity where anyone in your agency can track versions. They can make edits easily. They don't have to worry about when the last document was edited. There's also been a 39% improvement in content management system. What this means is that you're able to add new channels, whether it is customer service opportunities, payment opportunities, and have that seen across all your tools, whether it's your website, mobile, kiosk, and any documents that need to be shared as well. And finally, a 28% improvement across project portfolio management. Multiple agencies can now track documents relevant to their needs. So for example, if a constituent is submitting an application for a homestead reduction, that will be seen across all agencies that is applicable, but also the treasurer then can make the edits to their payments. The assessor can evaluate their products and add all the documents so it's all relevant to that one particular citizen and or constituent in one place and not across different channels. And then according to the Center for Digital Government, other benefits about cloud-based tools include real-time updates to records and databases. Employees can see all necessary information about a citizen on a single screen, and those interactions with the customers can be measured through feedback and performance metrics. There's also been an improvement in teamwork and collaboration. And then going back to the employee productivity, employee engagement and satisfaction drive productivity, but also decrease turnover and recurring recruitment costs. And this is, with these tools, you'll have the ability to fairly measure and report back on that productivity and decrease in turnover. Also, the Center of Digital Government has reported that there has been some deductions in improvements in cost savings, 16% improvement. And so what that means is that there's been a transfer of operational expenses to more tools that rely on efficiency. We've also seen improvement in implementation time. In the past, when you have to bring on a new IT software or hardware, that requires implementation, training, maintenance, and then consistent onboarding and updates. With the cloud, it is done in real time and can be done off hours, so it does not affect the actual workday. And then going back to onboarding for new employees, we've seen improvement in onboarding because it's easier for employees to learn the tool at their convenience on their time versus having to always just be in the office to learn the tool. Another trend that we're seeing is also across payment processes. Here you want to provide a multi-channel experience to citizens across their preferred devices. Some citizens like to go onto their computer at home and pay for a parking ticket. Other people are on the go and remember things on their commute that they have to take care of something, so they want to see the same experience. We are still seeing generations wanting to go into the particular agency to make a payment. They're used to the common interactions, but no matter where they are and where they are in their life, they want to be able to have access to make a payment on their time and convenience for them. And what we're seeing is that the user experience has not kept pace with these expectations. There's been different interfaces for your computer. There's been different experiences on your website, and that's creating a disjointed process and disjointed information that the citizen is not satisfied with. Without a complete picture of what they're doing, you want to be able to create a user experience that is consistent, so it increases adoption. You also want to be able to offer payments across multiple channels, so citizens can participate with your agency and not stumble on any issues and feel like they have to take more time out of their day to address this issue. So if you automate and can create this consistent digital payment process, you also improve a few things. One, you reduce errors and streamline reconciliation, improve real-time reporting on your end. You also reduce the use of paper and other operations. And then you can also see an improvement in revenue flow with fewer obstacles as payments are processed faster and conflicts are solved quicker. This all goes back to the citizen then feeling comfortable that their payment is actually being processed and updated in real time. Also, you want to provide an omni-channel approach for those tech-savvy constituents, which allows employees to help citizens that actually need a lot more attention because there either has been an error in their bill or a duplicate payment. So think about that as you're creating this more automated payment process. Another benefit to this is that your employees will also feel more engaged and challenged because they're actually helping citizens with unique situations versus the standard routine. With this, they'll feel that they have an incentive of creating a moment of accomplishment. It will help morale and then hopefully also stay long-term in this role. With this also, employees can see necessary information about a citizen on a screen that allows more interactions and can be measured through feedback and performance. Another trend that we're seeing that will be impacted this year is actually cloud procurement. State and municipal governments once thought that cloud wasn't an option for them. They were unwilling to do and move to the cloud due to lack of confidence and security. We can now say that the cloud is now more adaptable for handling sensitive data that needs to be kept secure. This data might contain information about constituents and even matters of intelligence, but it's now in the state's hands. Gartner predicts that public cloud adoption by governments will experience 17.1% annual growth through 2021. Moving the governments to cloud allows more flexibility, cost savings, and ability to streamline processes. The cloud procurement, though, however, does not fit the traditional purchasing model. Cloud services are procured via subscription, which is a shift from capital to operating expenses. For example, capital spending for new data center equipment may be significant, but multiple budget cycles may pass before IT requests funds for the same type of hardware. As a government employee, you're always looking for ways to cut costs. Governments are particularly strapped for funds, so relying on the taxpayer funding and budgets are consistently hard to validate this. And equipment requires expensive upfront costs for updates, and equipment needs to be upgraded and refreshed. Maintenance expenses can be unpredictable. But by moving to the cloud service, you can eliminate your capital expense. Data center resources are available in the cloud at a predictable monthly rate. You only pay for what you need. There's no need to pay for real estate to house hardware or energy to cool servers. The cloud provider handles all maintenance and upgrades. Another aspect of cloud procurement is this concept of shifting to enforce strategy that will impact your citizens. Peter Drucker wrote a book and is quoted for saying, "Culture eats strategy for breakfast." Everyone trying to work within a culture to make something happen. Each of us move daily through our culture of our personal life to neighborhoods to the places we work. And it is our connection to these cultures that inspire the best within us or reduces us to average. What he states is that he wants to use the force of culture to make our work environment and what we always wanted to be a healthy, inspirational place where people can have endless, boundless organic growth. So why is this relevant? Currently, you have to go to the level of procurement person to process an RFP and help them understand how critical an IT project is and how it will be used to make decisions. With cloud products, there are some ways you can tackle some small things and show successes along the way. You can adopt an iterative approach. You don't have to digitize everything at once. The journey can be completed in small steps. Prioritize cases based on goals, insights, and easier use cases. Rack up one success, and you'll have an easier time gaining buy-in for your next project. Find the ROI. Build around constituent needs and long-term successes. Think about which services are most commonly used, which workflows are the most time-consuming, and when the most common confusions lie to your constituency. There can be the best candidates for things like integration, automation, and personalization. Finally, with cloud procurement, there is going to be a shift where you're going to collaborate with IT and other agencies. According to a recent eRepublic survey, 32% of their respondents say this lack of collaboration has prevented successful cloud procurement. So what do you do to shift that? Get the right stakeholders in the room. It takes a village to run a village. Here are some key players to consider bringing into digital transformation initiatives. 1, senior executives. Accelerate the process to obtain buy-in at the senior level. Getting senior management to articulate the organizational benefits with the rest of the organization will improve support for your digital transformation. Obviously, we need to bring in the IT department. IT is a crucial and collaborative stakeholder. Digital transformation does not mean a wholesale replacement of existing technologies. Closely collaborating with IT is an agile way that will minimize any system roadblocks and smooth the path to a digital transformation. Procurement. Bring procurement in early to come to a better mutual understanding of citywide priorities and budgeting, as well as agency-level needs. HR. HR is aware of internal talent or can identify talent gaps to ensure that the digital transformation is fully staffed. Marketing and communications. This team is a key to communicating the digital transformation to both internal and external users. And then finally, agency stakeholders. To ensure adoption, agency staff must be assured the pursuit of technology will make their jobs easier. And the best way to do this is to listen to what their pain points are. The goal is a mix of human innovation with advanced technology. One stakeholder that you probably have not thought of, though, is to bring in your constituents. Identify who you're aiming to assist digitally. Constituent questions will help guide which services are the most challenging to access, and user testing will ensure you're meeting their needs. Digital transformation depends on championing an organization-wide vision and bringing the right players into the process. Delivering continuous improvement starts with a robust understanding of what needs to be done and who can add gain to your digital transformation initiative. Show them the value of what it's trying to accomplish by using data. One thing I touched upon when you're bringing in the constituents is user testing that will ensure that you're meeting their needs. You want to take a walk in your constituents' shoes and find ways to improve ease of use and enable seamless access. Your citizens use Google, Apple, Facebook, Netflix, and Amazon on a daily basis. They expect similar experiences on your site. So to do so, you'll need to take on the ways of the private sector and adopt this service design thinking. You can't create a website once and expect it to be one and done. You need to constantly be thinking about your website design and test. In the user experience world, there's a mantra: test early and often. Get your ideas in front of real users as soon as possible. Several reasons. One, you're not the user. You may have good sense overall for users' likes and dislikes, but it's extremely difficult to truly place yourself in user shoes, let alone predict how they'll interact with new features. Two, it's cheaper to make changes earlier, rather than a few months on the road when you've invested more financially and perhaps emotionally in a particular solution. As soon as you have a viable design, prompt your users with questions. What do you want to learn? Also, you'd need something for the user to test. Using a prototyping app called Marvel, which simply strings together static mockups. Prototypes don't need to be highly functional because we've got our research goals. We know exactly what we want to test, and we only have to build what we test. With that, you can present to your constituents. Your constituents need to feel involved in the process. This will help increase adoption of your website and other cloud-based tools. Finally, at the end, write up test reports. Report on benefits. This will help not only gain internal support, but also adoption with your employees, and they'll be able to communicate well to their constituents. On the flip side of service design, think about including personalization on the online experience. Residents have higher expectations for what they can find and do online, and local governments are working to meet their needs. Constituents want to get things done quickly with a convenient, personalized experience online, on their phones, or in person. Local governments can leverage emerging technologies that allow people to access historical activities while keeping their personal information safe. Once a local government has digitized all its services, there are several ways to personalize the citizen experience. Aggregate search data. Use tools like Google Analytics that allow you to see trends in your web visitors' activities. These insights can allow you to suggest related services that people often look for together, like registering for a parking permit and looking up street cleaning schedules. You may find that people search for some services or information more commonly during a certain time of year. Feature these services more prominently when your data shows its peak season. Location-based suggestions. Allow people to input their zip code to filter for services in their neighborhood. Your content management system likely has a way to tag content. Tag things like alderman offices, voting locations, bus stops, or trash pickup schedules by the zip codes they serve. If your web capabilities are more advanced, you can ask users to opt in to allow the site to recognize their location automatically each time they visit. You can also personalize the citizen experience with user profiles. Tag your content so that people can filter their searches by a certain attribute, like services or veterans or for business owners. This is a simple way to show people all the benefits that may qualify for or remind them of necessary permits they may have missed. With more advanced functionality, you can give residents a way to store their profile using a login and password. People will store their information if there's a benefit to them. For instance, storing credit card data to easily make monthly water bill payments, or being able to log in and quickly view any commuter delays for the bus routes they've stored. For that business owner, they can see prompts to complete a permit application they started earlier, or be notified that this month they qualify for a tax deduction. The end goal when you digitize your government services should be to deliver those services in a differentiated way to each user group or even household. Through technology, you have the ability to understand both behavior, for example, how constituents want to interact, and individuals' unique profile, like demographics or property ownership. Combine both and you can be proactive in better serving your constituents. So with these 5 trends, there's a lot of things that you probably have to go back and think about. But what does this mean for you? There are actually things that you can implement today. Reevaluate your business processes and ways of thinking that may have become outdated. Bring stakeholders together and evaluate, are we being most efficient with our day-to-day activities? Are there ways that technology can help us improve that and expedite the way we do things? Re-examine your IT infrastructure by shifting your focus from the technology to the people using it. You may have brought on different tools that are being sold to you as efficient ways of doing it, but is it actually helping the people? Are people happy and most engaged in adopting those tools very quickly? If not, maybe there are ways that you can either eliminate or combine the tools so it's easier on the day-to-day process. And start small by evaluating essential functions. As we talked about, you don't have to complete everything and move everything to technology as soon as possible. What are some day-to-day things that your team has mastered on a day-to-day basis that can then be moved to a tool that will make it easier for not only them, but also to help improve the constituent relationship? And then look at your website and look at your design. Is it human-centric? Are the things that you're doing on thinking about the human-centric design process, and have they been modernized? There are many ways that you can just look at your current website and test with your constituents and make sure that they are the ways that your citizens want to interact with you. We have spent more time talking about this human-centric design process. We did a webinar last month, so if you're interested in learning more, please visit citybase.com/resources. I apologize, thecitybase.com/resources, and you can view what our design team has to say about this. So with that, we have asked you to submit questions by clicking on the Ask a Question button on the left-hand corner of your screen. We will take a look at those questions and get back to you on an individual basis. And so thank you for spending your time with us this afternoon. We hope you're walking away with trends to implement in 2019. Please watch your email for the on-demand recording of this video to share with your colleagues, and join us next month in March for a webinar on retiring your legacy software. Have a great afternoon.